Hey guys, I'm the Burke and I do things, and today's video is going to be a little different than other videos I've done in the past, but I think that this is something that's really important to talk about. I spent the last few days writing notes in my notebook, kind of going over a list of things I want to talk about with you guys. I'm sorry if it seems a little all over the place and scatterbrained. I have a lot I want to talk about, and I'm going to try to have it fit cohesively into one video. We are going to be talking quite a bit about my experience learning about my white privilege and kind of where we can go from here with the Black Lives Matter movement. I want to talk about Black-owned makeup brands for sure. I want to talk about products I love, products I want to try, products I've already purchased and that are on their way to me in the mail right now, and just what we can do going forward from where we are right now. So to start this whole video off, I think it makes sense to talk about my childhood, where I came from, and how I got to where I am today. So until the age of 8, I lived in the northeastern section of Philadelphia. I went to public elementary school in Philadelphia through 2nd grade. And this is kind of in my life where I experienced my first socioeconomic injustice, but I did not know at the time that that is what I was experiencing. So for reference, my 2nd grade classroom was like a normal sized classroom, except there was a divider down the center of the classroom. And that divider, I think, was just like some bookshelves. And this half of the room was 1st grade, this half of the room was 2nd grade. So one classroom had 2 grades worth of students being taught at the same time. So you can assume that my education was a little behind maybe what other schools were being given at that time. Also, our actual school, for recess, all we had was a blacktop. It was the 90s. They kind of had knockoff skippets that we could play with. We could play jump rope. I think there was a basketball hoop. Like, that was what recess was. Our classroom, we always, I feel like, felt very fortunate. We had a computer in that classroom, and one kid at a time could use that computer. We didn't really know any different. That's just what we were used to. After 2nd grade, my family did move to the suburbs, and I actually put my old address in Google Maps and my new address in Google Maps, and we moved 2.4 miles away. We did not even move 2.5 miles away. That is how close my homes were, but listen to how different my schools were. My new school, the playground alone, I think the playground was larger than my entire old school combined. There were giant fields, there were jungle gyms, there were swing sets, there were basketball courts. It was huge. I had never seen anything like it in my life. I didn't know schools had things like that. The computer lab alone existed. They had new Macintosh computers lined up in a row in their computer lab. I did not at the time know why there were such differences in the 2 school systems. But I just really honestly thought that my parents were rich. I genuinely thought we were rich. I did not know what the meaning was between the 2 schools. And at the time, the school I was in Philadelphia was labeled the #1 elementary school in the Philadelphia school district. Do you think it's because it was in a more predominantly white community? Not fully white, but a more predominantly white community? I would not be surprised. So my first experience with the socioeconomic injustices in our country was at the age of 8. From there, I really displayed, I feel like, my white privilege, and I blame a lot of it on the American education system. In American history, we learn all about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we learn about the civil rights movement, and it's just like an exciting time to learn about in our country's history. You know, to me, learning about that meant, of course everyone is equal. Of course everyone deserves the same privileges. Like, it just makes sense. And it even then was weird to think that it took until the 1960s for all this to come about. But I always thought that that meant everyone is equal. And in high school, where I saw the inequality in the world was with the LGBTQ community. And I put a lot of my emphasis and my focus into helping that community get the same rights that we all have today. I think another large issue with the American education system is we celebrate Black History Month, but we do not incorporate Black history into American history. Why do we only focus on that history in 1 month of the year and not the entire school year? I think that is another huge issue in the American education system. So I graduated high school and I went off to college. And in my freshman year of college, I got a very amazing, unique experience. So I was a freshman in the year of 2007, and my freshman fall semester, Hardball with Chris Matthews came and filmed an episode of their show in our basketball court. I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something crazy to stand in line to get tickets to be able to attend, and we watched him interview Barack Obama. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life, getting to hear Barack Obama talk while he was running in the primaries against Hillary Clinton. It made me and all of my friends feel so powerful because we were 18. It was going to be our first time to be able to participate in an American election, and we were just so invigorated because we just want progression. We want to keep doing more and keep making the world a better place. And I kind of assumed everyone wants that. Everyone cares about people being equal, people having the same rights, everyone just being treated the same way. That's just what I thought. And I was there the night in 2008, my sophomore year of college, when he won the election, and we all celebrated in the streets that we had done it. We had made such progression, that we had elected a Black president. And I felt so proud of myself to be able to tell my children and my grandchildren that I was one of the people who elected the first Black president in American history. I was so proud of what we had done as a community in this country. So, we had a Black president. I thought everything was great. Again, my emphasis continued to be with helping support the LGBTQ community and helping them get their rights. And eventually I graduated college, and after I graduated college, I remember sitting in my first accounting job, reading the headlines that same-sex marriage had been legalized. And again, I thought, I elected this president, I helped make this progression happen. We are going in the right direction. We're going full progression, full steam ahead. We're doing it. Everyone is going to be equal. I was so excited. I was so happy. I was so blindsided by the progressions that were happening that I could not see the injustices that were happening in this country. And that is the white privilege that I had at that point. Now, my white privilege came tumbling down quickly in the year 2016. The whole world I knew came crashing down on me. And that is when I woke up. I never thought Donald Trump would be elected president. All I saw him stand for was hate. And as somebody who was very progressive, I never thought hate could win. I thought we're bigger than hate. We can beat hate. Hate never prevails. And I was wrong. And I became full of hate towards hate. And I became so angry, always angry. We marched, we protested, we just fought and fought and fought for months and months, and I just was full of rage and hate and constantly being angry, and it was horrible. It was not a happy time in my life. I was just consumed with hate, and that's not the kind of person that I want to be. I do not want to be consumed with hate. I want everyone to be happy. That's the kind of person I am. And we were fighting and we were protesting, and I needed an escape. I needed to get away from this. I needed to get off of Facebook. I needed to get off of Twitter. I needed to find a place where I could just stop feeling that hate and relax and take care of myself mentally. And that is when I found YouTube. YouTube was my escape from the hateful world out there. It was a place where I could go and just find people that I had things in common with, but we didn't have to deal with all the hate and awful things happening in the world. And that's why I created Things by the Burk. Things by the Burk was supposed to be my escape that I was giving to my audience. I wanted my audience to be able to come to my channel, have a good time, talk about whatever the heck I was talking about in that video, and just take 10 minutes off, just hang out, and just relax. I wanted to be that mental escape for my audience because I know that I was tired of being angry 24/7, and I was sure that there was someone else out there that also felt that same way. When I started this channel, I didn't make it to make money. I didn't make it to be an influencer. It's still weird to think of myself as an influencer. I just think of myself as a normal person who just sits and talks to a camera in a very empty room. I never realized that this channel would be something that I could use for something as important as this topic, because I always knew that that I had used YouTube as an escape. And now I realize that that is not what this channel always has to be. This channel can also have serious topics. We don't always have to just joke around. Like, sometimes it is important to sit down and just have a real conversation with people. And I feel that I owe that to you guys. And I did not want to rush into this conversation because I do film on the weekends. And last weekend, I felt like everything was too fresh and I wanted to sit down and really make a list of all these notes that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I want to know what you guys as an audience want from me, because I 100% am with the Black Lives Matter movement. If at this point you do not understand the Black Lives Matter movement, it truly means that you are not listening to people, and listening right now is one of the most important things that we can do as a community. One of my favorite Black creators is Jackie Aina. I've been watching Jackie for years. She's one of the very few large influencers that I actually still watch, and I watch her because I learn so much from her. I love listening to what she has to share with me. And I have learned a lot about different companies and how they have treated her with injustice in the past, and I have chosen not to support those companies because of what Jackie says. Do I make a big deal about it on my channel? No, I just don't highlight certain brands because I'd rather highlight brands that I support. And I think that's a big thing that we should be doing these days, is highlighting the good ones and just forgetting the bad ones, because bad publicity is still publicity. And I want to focus on the good people out there, and I think that is what we need to do on this channel. So I think one of the things I can do right now is I can talk about a few of the items I have in front of me right now. I will say that I'm not someone who has a giant collection of makeup that was created by Black-owned makeup brands. However, a lot of my collection in general is drugstore products and products that I receive in subscription services. So that is something that I, in the future going forward, want to change. So before I continue with a couple other topics I want to talk about on this Black Lives Matter subject, I really want to talk to you guys about some makeup products, and I would love in the comments for you guys to be able to share some of your favorite products and recommendations for me and all of us in the comments to check out. I was trying to explain the importance of Rihanna creating the Fenty brand to Scott this past week, because he obviously does not follow the beauty industry and did not know that Rihanna helped create the need for inclusivity in the makeup community. And around the time that Rihanna launched Fenty Beauty is around the time that I really got into watching YouTube. So it all kind of came crashing at the same time. So I do have two products from Fenty that I very much enjoy. I am wearing the foundation today. This is the Hydrating Foundation. I know this has fairly mixed reviews on it. However, I really like it. I find that if you set it with the right setting powder and use the right primer, it really does have this really nice luminescence, but it also lasts very long. And then her liquid lipsticks are one of my favorite formulas. I do have the shade Unbuttoned here. I know people love her lip glosses. It's personally not my favorite formula. However, I do know that Rihanna kills it at making really good products. I don't own a lot from the brand because, like I said, I tend to stick more towards the drugstore. However, I do like supporting brands that do the right things, so I do try to support her brand at the same time while not buying every release that launches. Her new cream products, though, they really do seem great. I have two eyeshadow palettes on my eyes today. The really ridiculously beautiful purple you guys haven't seen on my channel yet. I did film this video last weekend trying out this palette for the first time, but with everything going on last week, that video did get pushed back. So that video should be going up tomorrow, but I did get this colored Raine palette in my Ipsy last month, and oh my gosh, this purple is absolutely to die for. I do believe this is a brand you can buy at Target. I actually looked at buying another palette from Target this past week to be able to support the brand some more. It seemed like a lot of the products were sold out, which is great for the brand. I'm really glad that they are doing so well, but it's a brand that I really do enjoy right now, and I will be purchasing from them in the future. We can talk about Beauty Bakerie now. If Beauty Bakerie's packaging isn't the cutest thing that you've ever seen in your life, you should see it. Okay, so their flour powder, I have a little mini, comes in the little powder pack like this. It is so cute. It is the powder that I used to set my face today. It is a very mattifying powder. I believe it comes in 3 or 4 different shades, and I gave in, and I've had the blush palette on my wish list for quite a while now. Emily Noel raves about it all the time, and I did it. I bit the bullet and I bought it, so it is on its way to me soon, hopefully. The lips I'm wearing today, this is actually something I just recently tried as well. This is from the Lip Bar, and this is the shade Curl Friend. I got this in the Best of Lip Products from Target that came out around the holidays last year. This is a nice liquid lipstick. It does not dry out your lips, which is very rare. It's pretty long wearing. I found that it wore for many hours yesterday. I actually also bought another product from this brand yesterday. I ordered a eyeshadow palette from Target. Something nice about this is it is accessible at more drugstore pricing, which you know I love. Another fun drugstore brand that you can get hair care and body care from is Shea Moisture. This just happens to be my favorite product from Shea Moisture. This is their 100% virgin coconut oil leave-in treatment. I originally got one of these in a Target beauty box a year or two ago, and I loved it. I used it all up. I love spraying this on the ends of my hair to help give them a little bit of hydration. It's a great product, and this brand makes really high quality products. Oh, I forgot to mention another product from Bakerie that I absolutely love. Their lip scrub, I don't have it anymore because I used it all up, is the best tasting lip scrub I've ever used. Like if I didn't have lip scrubs in my drawers right now, that is the one I would replace it with because that thing is so good. The mattes that I used for my eyeshadow today are from the Ace Beauty Grandiose Palette. Now, I'm not much of a warm tone palette lover, but because I have this one, I never feel like I need new warm tone palettes that come out. I always feel like I have it all covered in this palette. This is one of those palettes that has survived so many declutters. I feel like a lot of palettes I get in BoxyCharm hit the declutter pile, and this one never does because it just has such good standard colors. I use this matte, and this matte today in the crease. I have this shade up here in my inner corner. Overall, it's a really great quality palette. I really do recommend it. Something else you can do is when brands collaborate with Black creators, support it. This is a Colourpop lip gloss that they did in collaboration with Makeup Shayla, and this is the Neat Freak lip gloss. That is another good way to help brands say, keep doing it, keep doing what you're doing, collaborate with more Black creators. Now, I'm fully aware that I do not have the largest collection to share with you guys, but I do know a lot of brands tend to just release eyeshadow palettes, and that's just not where my biggest passion is when it comes to makeup. I'm, for some reason, just like a complexion person. Complexion products always interest me the most, and so I thought I'd talk about some of the products that I'm really interested in trying coming up, besides the few that I mentioned already. I saw a sneak peek that Midas Cosmetics is releasing face palettes, and they look like they're gonna be really good. I don't usually get excited about brand new releases, but for some reason that one just like really revved my engine a little bit. Uoma Beauty is a brand that was on my 10 brands I want to try in 2020 list. So guess what? I ordered a product from Uoma Beauty, and we're gonna try that too. There is a new brand called Propa Beauty. Their first launch with cream lipsticks isn't necessarily something that is my interest. I definitely have my eye on the brand because their first release looked absolutely so well done. In case you've ever seen a brand do a first release with nude lipsticks, they did it right. McGrath Labs, I've never tried anything from that brand. Obviously, that brand doesn't really need a lot of extra attention. I think they do get a lot of support from the entire beauty community. However, maybe someday I'll try something. I had to place an order with Sephora recently, and I picked like the foundation as my free sample. I'm guessing it's not going to be enough for me to use it on my full face, but we'll see. Speaking of Fenty, they came out with these new lipsticks that look really cool as well. Like that sheer lipstick that I'm really into right now. Maybe. There's one other brand that I recently found while I was researching for this video called The Honey Pot, and it's a brand that makes like feminine care products. It seems really, really cool. It looks like they are sold at Target, so I might look into that brand as well. But I'd also, again, love to hear some of your recommendations for products and what you guys would like to see me do more on this channel. Now, back to the more serious topic. I know it took me a while to make this video. Like I mentioned, I really wanted to gather my thoughts. I made sure to post on my community tab. I posted on my Instagram stories, I posted on my Twitter, I talked about it in my podcast, but I knew I had to sit down and make a video here and talk to you guys like adults because this is my largest platform and I owe it to you guys as my audience to have an adult conversation with you because, again, we are all adults. I really did consider making the statement about donating AdSense from this video to X charity. However, there's a couple issues with that statement. The first is, since the pandemic, my AdSense have been really bad. I'm talking like $2 to $4 a video I'm making, which it's fine. This is not my full-time job, but the bigger issue is this most likely will be demonetized because I'm talking about important topics, and that's what YouTube does. But a very interesting video I'm going to link below is by Kaki, and she used to work on the marketing AdSense side of Google, and she explains why these videos are getting demonetized, and it is wrong. So I want to link her channel down below because it really explains what's going on the other half of the system. So while I am going to be making a donation, it's probably going to not be my AdSense I make on this video because I do not want to donate $2. I would like to donate more. I'm going to link this resource I found online down below. It's like almost like a one-stop shop where you can find places to donate, petitions to sign. It has so much information on it. It's probably one of the most helpful resources I've found with all of this going on. And I think it's very, very, very important that with what's going on right now, we need to hold each other accountable to continue this going forward. I know that I can do better as a content creator, but also caring about Black people is not a trend. It's not the thing we do in 2020. It's not in the month of June we feature Black brands and we talk about Black-owned businesses, and then come July we forget about it. This is how we have to be going forward forever and ever. And something that always kind of sticks with me is at my current job, they have different types of groups, and I am in the Black Employee Association group. I've been in the group since I think like January of 2019, and the lanyard I wear my badge on says Black Employee Association. It says I'm on the group. I wear it everywhere. And I've gotten funny looks. I've gotten people questioning, why are you in the Black Employee Association? I'm sorry, do you have to be Black to care about Black employees? Because that's the attitude that we need to be changing. Everyone should be caring about Black people, not just Black people. And that is the attitude we need to have going forward. I think I said everything I wanted to say in this video. I feel like I was a little all over the place. I really hope that you guys were able to stick with me through this one and that you understand where I'm coming from. I hope you guys will be continuing on this journey with me, and let me know what kind of content you want to see going forward. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. I've talked your heads off enough, I think. As usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter and my Instagram down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!